Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we left off inspecting this Kew Gardens affair case. We got the keys and we talked to Miss White in the last episode. We also performed the autopsy on Mr. Montgomery Dunn, or whatever his name was, and we came to the conclusion that it was poisoning that killed him. There's a broken statue we found, so we're gonna ask about that now.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Yeah.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Can I talk about that to Albert?
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
I bet.
Farmhouse.
I bet. Alright, let's look through all the stuff we found in the archive. Why do I even walk there? And make some discoveries. This shouldn't take too long, but the way back is always you know, going to the gardens, it takes a long time for the game to load up that area, which is kind of a bother. Toby's sitting around there too. Watson, Watson, Watson. Are you serious right now, Watson? Watson, no.
Someone should take Toby for a walk.
You
Have
think?
you found something interesting?
You think?
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
Oh. Oh. He ate his paperwork or some stuff. What are we looking for? Stolen plants list. So we want research, toxic metal, chlorine, hemlock.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
Okay, okay. Let's read. Dionea carnivorous, Carlina inebriare, Florum diabolica, Chromolena odorata, Prunus zerotina, Helium forays types, Biblis, and Genlisea violacea. Three steps to surviving a waterfall? Cool. Martial arts. Marks and symbols.
That is not the one I need.
I do not want toxicology. Cyanide?
That is not the one I need.
King of poisons.
That is not the one I...
Are you being...
That is not...
fair? Wait, oh, that's the plant list. Encyclopedias. Exotics, plants, poisonous. These plants have certain toxicology in common, more or less variable. Dionaea carnivoris, Carlina inebriare, Florum diabolica, Prunus zerotina. Is that? That is not one of those. Chromalina odorata. Yeah. Helium phores tipuis. Yeah. Although that's got different spelling of that word. Biblis, Genelia violacea, and these two aren't on this list either. Only the first three can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florum diabolica. But only under very specific conditions. These plants should react to a process of aggression against which it will issue deadly spores.
Here it is.
What do we get? Deadly plants stolen, poisoning. Theft and murder. The killers may be those who stole the exotic plants, including the deadly species, from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. What else do we got? We got the pot. We got the pot. So we want research, we want symbols. Religious. London Garden
That is not
what?
the one I need.
Okay, symbol of a broken pot. Symbol on a broken flower pot found in the backyard. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. The glyph means divine, if I'm not mistaken. The Divine Scholastic Syndicate for Vegetation Veneration. The members of this syndicate worship Trayvon, the God King. They strive to obtain spiritual peace and release themselves from the martial world, so generous donations are appreciated.
Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
What do we got? We now have a key. What's that? Trayvon, the God King. That looks nice. Okay. Got all these people. I could look at information on deadly plants. Find out who killed Mr. Montague Dunn. Inspect Kew Gardens staff buildings and gather information on Montague Dunn. Find the plant that was used to kill Mr. Montague Dunn. Find the stolen plants. We just need to go into their cloakroom, as Albert called it. He's always reading the same page. I'd probably, with this long or with this much time on my hands sitting in a cab, I'd probably read through tons of books. Cleaning lies. Hamish is still standing here. We want to go talk to Albert immediately. You like poisonous plants, buddy?
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Huh.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Fair. It's a Times article. What say you, the Divine Syndicate?
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
What?
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Watson, thank you. Oh, I thought he didn't give me the keys. I was wrong. Well, we got something better to do than ask Miss White about the Divine Syndicate. I did not know I was able to go in here.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
I don't see particularly good order in that.
A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
What?
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
We're gonna find more of those cylinders. Chemistry cupboard.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
Nice. University book.
A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
A clock. That's the door. Protective equipment.
It
One
appears
missing.
as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Evidently they do. So it's probably going to be the fireplace? No. Laboratory table. Wet bottle trace.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust. Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Alright, Toby. We need a good nose, but first I'm going to look through all of this stuff.
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Right. What's that sign? I don't care. Let's look at all this. I want this angle. I want this. And this. Very hard. Oh, no way. Increase difficulty? Look at
Open.
you. La la la.
Miss White's locker.
Nice hat.
A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Dear Mother and Father, I'm writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proved to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? Margaret.
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
Jewel box.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune. A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Margaret, we were super surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all of these years that have passed since you left and without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now? We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done, and none of us ever compromise their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed, your parents. Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please let me reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you might accept my help. Your devoted servant, Albert. Your devoted servant, Albert? What? Ugh. What a creep. Miss White's family and Albert's ambition. No, never mind. Deadly plants and poisoning. What? White studied Miss White's... After the death of his father, Albert now feels responsible to manage Kew Gardens. Oh, never mind. White studies. Huh. What's the deduction I'm supposed to do here? Deadly plants stolen? That has nothing to do with White studies, or does it? Nah. Nah. Doesn't make any... I don't know. I can't make sense of that right now. We'll see when they get fewer.
Martin Hamish's locker. Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
Well, we knew that from the diploma he had by his office table. Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens obliged me to renew my application for the management positions. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as the matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead and free my mind from this uncertainty.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
So I'm going to have to read through those too. Photograph. In the gardens.
Father and I, Kew Gardens. Albert's locker.
Nice. That's lying underneath there.
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Royal Navy School of NCOs, Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunn, has expressed his intention to entrust you the directorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew, and it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours faithfully, blah 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 blah. What a dick of a father. Okay, we done. Would you close the door behind you? No? Alright, just leave it open. Just leave it open then, alright. We're gonna have a lot to go on. I'm gonna have to wait I have to wait with that for at least a bit. Alright, in the next episode we're gonna get Toby. Are we gonna still look in here?
Locked.
Why do you say locked if we just open it? No, we're gonna look through Mr. Montague's stuff.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
He did have a big liver. Or an enlarged liver, so he did like his alcohol.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Alright, let's do some of this. What? Oh no. Oh god damn it. This is worse than the lockpicking on Risen. This is much more. Two there. Oh, come on. 3 here. 3 on the other side. Then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 1. You fucker. 3 on the left. 3 on the right. I guess 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other way around. Wow, that was harsh. While not a particularly safe save. My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinary, precious and rare species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permission of these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesdays as always. Montague Dunn. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time, for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them. imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need not elaborate. That was reported in the press at the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. But be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Letter of complaint.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dunn. Rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street. An educational scholarship at the London University. Credits opened at Hamilton, Radigan House, Taylor's, and at Baird's and Sons Luxury Jewelers. Huh. Personal loan. He wrote all of that down. Interesting. White and Dunn. Miss White's family. White's situation. Margaret White's studies and social situation were completely dependent upon upon Montague Dunn's wealth. I don't have any more right now. First we have to look at the archive again and get Toby. And we're going to do that in the next episode. For the moment, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.